On this Tuesday night, another bleak Christmas in Bethlehem.
We want to focus on the reality of the situation of the Palestinian people.
How a second Christmas in the Holy Land is overshadowed by war. Fire and fury in Syria after a Christmas tree is torched. The anger and fears among Christians there. A Christmas message from the Prime Minister.
It's a moment to put our phones down, to put our politics aside.
As pressure piles on Justin Trudeau. And handmade gifts from the heart.
So there's quite a lot of work.
Meet the hospital volunteers creating holiday joy for new families.
Global National with Donna Friesen.
In this season of peace and goodwill, in the place where it's believed Jesus was born, it is quiet. For a second year, Christmas celebrations in Bethlehem are muted. Prayers were held at the Church of the Nativity, but any joy in this town in the occupied West Bank is overshadowed by the war in Gaza. Good evening and thanks for joining us. It is already Christmas in the Middle East, and Bethlehem is usually filled with pilgrims and tourists. But Israel's war on Gaza, which has now raged for more than 14 months, means festivities have again been cancelled. Mike Armstrong has our top story on what people are praying for this Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. As the Archbishop of Jerusalem headed to Bethlehem on this Christmas Eve, his convoy passed through roadblocks and checkpoints moving from Israel to the West Bank. Stepping out with security walls and razor wire above, he said the fact his convoy made it through showed a sign of hope.
It's possible, even where there are enormous and difficult walls, it's possible to trespass them if we want.
The commemorations this year have been limited to religious ceremonies.
I saw everything destroyed.
The Archbishop did address a crowd, telling parishioners he recently visited Gaza and witnessed what he called a disaster. But his prayers on this day were that people look forward, not backward. In a normal year, Bethlehem would be bustling. There would be crowds of tourists and a grand Christmas tree in Manger Square. Well, for the second year in a row, none of that is happening. The mayor says Bethlehem doesn't want to distract from what's happening in Gaza.
You can see that we didn't decorate the city and we didn't light the Christmas tree. And we want to focus on the reality of the situation of the Palestinian people.
Now, the conflict and the cancellation of festivities is hurting the economy. Hotels would normally be near capacity. Instead, occupancy's at 3 or 4%. Tourism has shut down at a cost, according to the Palestinian Authority, of about $2 million a day. Thousands of jobs have been lost.
You know, every year...
The owner of this shop would normally employ 25 families doing wood carvings.
We try to do our best for them, but really, as you can see, there is no people.
About 47,000 Christians live in the Palestinian territories. This family is this year allowing itself some pieces of a regular Christmas, but they say they won't celebrate when so many others can't. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.
Several hundred Palestinian Christians live in Gaza, and some of them gathered for Christmas Mass in a church that is still standing. But there is no joy. There is too much sadness to celebrate. Thousands of displaced Gazans are struggling to keep warm, living in tents, relying on food aid. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, more than 45,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks. More than half of them are women and children. In Syria, where rebels toppled President Bashar al-Assad, protests have broken out over the burning of a Christmas tree. A video posted on social media shows it being set alight by a group of men. The Islamist group that led the uprising promised to protect the rights and freedoms of religious and ethnic minorities. But as Neetu Garcha reports, this incident has heightened fears about where Syria is headed.
In Damascus, hundreds of Syrian Christians took to the streets on Tuesday, protesting the burning of a Christmas tree in Hama. The act has sparked fears and anger. Protesters are demanding more representation in Syria's future government and a guarantee of their religious freedoms. We are here demonstrating to call for our rights against the aggression that took place, she says, adding, "We do not accept this." Video of the fire has been shared widely on social media. The identity of the perpetrators remains unclear. Foreign fighters were blamed by the leader of HTS, the group which took over after Bashar al-Assad was overthrown.
The burning of the Christmas tree suggests that he doesn't have complete control over all groups in Syria.
This political scientist says while it's in HTS's interest to do good on its promise to protect minorities, it may not have enough resources to police the already divided and very diverse Syrian population.
It might find itself at war with Israel. It will find itself shut off from the funds that it needs to govern Syria.
But experts point to the history of HTS and other prominent Islamist groups like the Taliban. It vowed in 2021 to uphold certain rights for Afghan women that have since been rolled back.
Sadly, the history of extremist movements taking over and making promises of tolerance is not a good one. In a sense, how they are treated is a litmus test of this new regime that is dominated by Islamists.
As Christians celebrate Christmas Eve Mass, HTS says it provided additional security resources and has condemned the burning of the Christmas tree. This woman said she feels relieved and appreciates the measures taken. Despite the assurances, Christian leaders are advising communities to scale back celebrations this year because of the heightened fears. Neetu Garcha, Global News, Vancouver.
This year, Christmas falls on the same day as the first day of the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. It's one of only a handful of times that has happened in history. As Sean O'Shea reports, this Hanukkah is another poignant one for the Jewish community, given the recent rise in anti-Semitism.
In this busy Jewish-owned bakery north of Toronto on Christmas Eve, a seasonal special, these colorful jelly-filled donuts served at Hanukkah. Regardless of their religion or background, they're a favorite among buyers.
This store, 50% is non-Jewish people.
For the first time since 2005, Hanukkah and Christmas fall on the same day this year.
It's kind of nice to have a blend of both traditions and both religions celebrating at the same time.
A rare event that has its benefits, says this rabbi.
And everyone's off of school. So everyone has vacation, and the Jewish children that are in the public system can also come and celebrate.
And many Jews in the last year say they're publicly showing who they are more than ever, with a menorah on the roof of a vehicle in this case.
We do live in Canada in 2024, and I have the right to publicly celebrate the fact that I'm a proud Jew. Hanukkah is the holiday of lights, of joy, of positivity, of strength and courage in hard times.
This year there's a lot more public menorah lightings than there has ever been before. And not just here, but around the world.
It's because many say they've been made to feel like outsiders.
I was born in this country, and I've never experienced anti-Semitism until this year.
So this Hanukkah, there's a feeling of solidarity.
Realizing that if we don't stick together, we might not be around one day.
I think it's important that Jews say they're Jewish and be prepared to defend themselves if they have to.
And our hearts are heavy, and yet we celebrate anyway, because we have to go on.
Hanukkah, a season of light.
That we must do our job to add in light and to add in goodness and kindness.
And in the bakery, this is the busiest season of the year, catering to Jews marking Hanukkah and everyone else. Food brings people together.
Yes, food and love.
This is only the 5th time since 1900 that the first day of Hanukkah has fallen on Christmas Day. Two very different celebrations with a common message to bring peace around the world. Donna.
All right, Sean O'Shea in Toronto. Thank you. Canada is being trolled again by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and his family. This time, Trump's son Eric shared a doctored photo of his father looking at buying Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal on the Amazon app. Trump keeps joking about Canada becoming the 51st American state and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau being its governor. How to deal with Trump when he takes office is just one of the challenges Trudeau is grappling with. The other is the growing mutiny within his own party. And with the new year and a federal election on the horizon, questions are swirling over what happens if Trudeau resigns. Mackenzie Gray explains.
Hello, everyone.
Well wishes from Justin Trudeau.
This is a time of year to slow down, to rest, and to connect with the people you love most. It's a moment to put our phones down, to put our politics aside.
Sage advice that the Prime Minister is unlikely to follow. Trudeau is still not set if he'll stay on after Chrystia Freeland's shock resignation that led to more than 20 Liberal MPs to call on him to quit. A Christmas Eve storm has dumped enough snow in Ottawa for Trudeau to follow in the footsteps of his father and resign early in the new year, which would force the Liberal Party to run a shotgun leadership race. The Constitution says it must be a minimum of 90 days long, but that might be more time than the Liberals have.
I suspect the party, if a leadership race is triggered, will need to amend that to ensure that we can select a leader in a matter of, 6 weeks, certainly under 2 months.
The Liberal Party of Canada. It would be considerably shorter than when Trudeau won the leadership in 2013. That came nearly 2 years after Michael Ignatieff had resigned.
862.
1984 was the last snap leadership race, John Turner becoming PM just 108 days after an unpopular Pierre Trudeau quit. A similar situation to what his son faces now.
Yeah, I'm going home. The Liberal Party is certainly at a crisis point. I think that the Prime Minister has really a matter of days, if not weeks, to ultimately announce his resignation.
If there is a leadership race, Parliament is likely to be prorogued, a maneuver where the Prime Minister asked the Governor-General to shut down the House of Commons for a set period of time, which the former clerk of the Privy Council thinks would put the country in a difficult position ahead of potential U.S. tariffs.
We have a lot of energy going into leadership race speculation. We need to decide who's in charge and who is going to be the person across the table from Donald Trump.
Leading Michael Wernick to believe an election is needed soon.
All of this sort of performative theater and House of Cards drama may be entertaining and make for news, but it's weakening the country.
Another option if Trudeau quits, a leadership race could be skipped completely, and the Liberal caucus could appoint an interim leader to be confirmed by the party at a later date, like they did in 2008 with Ignatieff, which would mark the first time in Canadian history, Donna, that there would be an interim Prime Minister.
Mackenzie Gray in Ottawa, thanks. On Hong Kong's wanted list, coming up, why arrest warrants have been issued for 2 Canadians. Hong Kong police have issued arrest warrants along with bounties worth nearly $200,000 for 6 activists based abroad, including 2 Canadians. The warrants target 6 pro-democracy activists who fled the Chinese territory. They're wanted on charges that include secession, subversion, and collusion with foreign forces. The Canadians are Joseph Tay, founder of a Canadian-based NGO, and YouTuber and former BC journalist Victor Ho. This is the latest round of arrest warrants as China continues to crack down on dissent, targeting activists living in exile in retaliation for their work. A powerful explosion at an ammunition and explosives factory in northwestern Turkey has killed at least 12 people. Mangled steel and debris littered the surrounding area. Tremors from the blast were felt throughout the nearby township. Authorities say the cause is not yet clear, but sabotage has not been ruled out. NASA is trying to get a spacecraft where none has gone before. The Parker Solar Probe was launched in 2018 and is now on course to fly within 6.1 million kilometers of the sun's surface. That would be a record. NASA will be out of contact with the probe for a few days and won't know if it survived its pass by the sun until Friday. It's looking like a white Christmas ahead, the snowy conditions forecast across the country. One of the busiest travel days of the year got off to a rough start in the U.S. American Airlines briefly grounded all of its flights this morning.
Thank you so much for your patience.
Passengers had to get off planes. Others were kept waiting on the tarmac. The airline says it encountered what it calls a vendor technical issue. It didn't explain more than that. The shutdown only lasted an hour, but that was enough to cause delays and some cancellations for millions of people flying home for the holidays. Many Canadians can expect a white Christmas tomorrow. There is snow in the forecast in some areas. Montreal already got plenty of it overnight, enough to cause some traffic troubles this morning. Halifax is getting more than it bargained for. Global News meteorologist Anthony Farnell is keeping an eye on the weather this Christmas Eve. Anthony.
Good evening, Donna. I want to start in the west, where it is a parade of storms, 1, 2, 3 in quick succession. The first already moving ashore this morning with some very gusty winds, heavy rain, and yes, some mountain snow as well. The next one already lining up for Christmas Day, and there's another one for Boxing Day as well. Check out some of the peak gusts. The north side of Vancouver Island, 140 to 165 kilometers per hour. There wasn't quite as much wind for the lower mainland, but with this second system, new wind warnings are in place, and it does look like some gusts in the 70 to 100 kilometer per hour range, combined with 50 to 80 millimeters of rainfall, and even a snowfall warning if you're trying to get across into the province of Alberta. Now, I haven't seen this in quite a few years. Widespread snow cover that just recently has blanketed Atlantic Canada, but now it extends through Quebec, Ontario, the prairies, Calgary. That's one of the few areas that is likely to have a green Christmas. And then, of course, with all the rain in BC. But overall, it's a mild weather pattern across the country for the last few days of 2024. Donna?
Okay, Anthony Farnell, thank you. Deck the paws. Still ahead, your festive pets. Millions of Canadians across the country are gathering with their loved ones for Christmas and Hanukkah. For many families expecting a newborn baby over the holidays, part of the time will be spent in the hospital. As Megan King reports, that's why volunteers in Mississauga, Ontario, want to send parents home with some extra Christmas cheer.
This is the Chief Santa.
While it's not Santa's workshop, this group of volunteers at Credit Valley Hospital are hard at work spreading joy to expecting parents and their newborns. Yvonne, Teresa, and Elizabeth, all part of the team putting together gifts this holiday season.
We work with our Women's and Children's Department, and our volunteers will create newborn stockings. And on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the families receive a stocking if they have a baby that's born.
All part of a long-standing tradition, these volunteers also create special gift baskets for babies born on New Year's Day.
It makes me feel wonderful. I really feel as though I give.
It is an act of love because we do it in our own time. Nobody is saying you have to get this done. So if I sit down in the evening and I just want to pick up my knitting needles, I do.
If I come to the hospital for an appointment, I bring it with me. If we go somewhere, if my husband is driving, I'm doing, like Yvonne, I'm never still. I have to be doing something.
Year-round, these women knit and sew handmade goods to sell in the building gift shop, with all profits going back to hospital funding. One blanket alone takes roughly 40 hours to create, these three having volunteered more than 36,000 hours between them.
Well, we have to go to the stores, we have to buy the material, we have to come back here, cut it all out another day, and then sew it another day. So it's quite a lot of work goes into everything.
During the holiday season, that support means helping new families start new traditions with their newborn's first Christmas stocking.
A friend of mine, her daughter gave birth here. She was so excited, and they still have that stocking hanging up every Christmas.
The hope of these holiday helpers is that families are as happy with the stockings as they are while making them. Megan King, Global News.
That is Global National for this Tuesday. We are going to close tonight, as promised, with pictures of your pets dressed in their finest festive garb. Thank you to everyone who sent them in, and thanks to all of our loyal viewers who tune in to Global National night after night. We appreciate you. You have made us the most watched national newscast in Canada. On behalf of all of us at Global National, we wish you and your loved ones peace, joy, and good health. Now to the moment you've been waiting for, the pets. Here they are. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Neetu Garcha will be at the anchor desk tomorrow, and I will see you again on Thursday. Bye-bye.